Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? It's been a while, everyone. I've been a little bit absent, I would say. I think that's fair to say. And it's been even longer since I've done a reaction video of any kind. I made a couple images for this, and I will make them available on my Tumblr after the stream. I'll post a high def version of all of these that I will be using today, in case you want to look at them or download them or whatever. Hello, Anthony. Welcome, welcome. Always nice to have you in chat. And hello, Naruto and Hermie and Cupid and Gwen and Laura and Billy and Goblin and Oddball and Chris and Jean and Regulus and Mac and Garbo and Sparrow, if they came back. Oh, it's no problem, Naruto. It's okay. And hello, Replica Rabbit. Alright. So. Little bit of a primer before we get this show on the road. The reason I made this picture is because I think what has happened a lot to people that did cover Lily Orchard last year and the year before is that they want to recapture that feeling. And they're not going to. I've made a chart. This is a good chart, unlike some of the charts that we've seen on this channel. I made a little cheat sheet for reaction video content, but it also goes not just for a react stream, but if you're talking about another person's like video on YouTube. You have your 3 different kinds of people: your decent people, your neutral people, and your awful people. And you have 3 different kinds of takes. You have your good takes, your reasonable takes, and your bad takes. And these work together to make a more complex sum of their parts. So, I am feeling skibby today, Gwen. Thank you for asking. So a Lily Orchard kind of operates mostly in the bottom right here, sometimes in this panel when she's lucky, but it's always going to kind of bite you in the ass having a reaction video about a bad person. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Paige. Keep me company on the graveyard shift. I shall. But yeah. So, Lily's not a great person, and her takes are usually bad or, like, you know, inoffensive at best. So, while covering her can be great, look out, because it can get you into a cycle, I think, of you're constantly seeking out another bad person with awful takes. And the truth of the matter that most bad takes are made by the people on the bottom left. Most of the bad takes that people make are usually around here. Now I love this bottom left section right here. Matt Pat, God love him. Like, he lives here. He lives here. Matthew Patrick and Game Theory Atoll live in this square. Sometimes here, but usually here. They're fun to engage with, because the takes are bad and there's a lot to talk about and respond to, and you can get worked up without it, like, really meaning anything. You also have, but, you know, like, sometimes you might get defenders like, oh, yeah, why do you bust this guy's chops? That's why I suggest for beginners to do neutral people with bad takes, because you won't get a lot of defenders, but they still have bad takes, so it's like easy mode. So, you know, there's not a lot of negativity that is going to come after you if you come after somebody or you criticize somebody that's like a neutral person, that's like, they haven't done anything like egregious, but they're not like, you know, everybody's precious boy. And then people like Lily kind of operate here, where they suck and their takes suck, and it's fun, especially in the moment, to pick them apart. But it's just, the fallout's always gonna be nuts, you know? And then you got your reasonable takes. You know, maybe somebody that has a reasonable take and is a decent person, maybe you might want to work on them and, like, expand their idea a little bit. You can work with the ideas they have, but you still have room to move around yourself instead of, you know, them writing the whole collab and you just sit on your hands while they do everything. So, like, reasonable take, decent person, you know, and, you know, any kind of person can make any kind of take, just so we're clear. A neutral person with a reasonable take, I might not want to collab with them because I don't know a lot about them, but I could use their video as a jumping off point. It's a conversation starter. Reasonable takes made by awful people. Controversy and pain. You can't really get enough out of them for it to be entertaining, and they're a bad enough person that they're not afraid to hit below the belt, so to speak. I'll be sharing my charts and any images that I've made for this video on my Tumblr after the stream. I think the chart's already on the Discord server. And finally, you have good takes. If a neutral person or a decent person makes a good take, you don't have content. You're just going to be sitting on your butt saying, uh-huh, yup, they're so right. Yes, that's exactly what I think. It's difficult to respond to a good take in general. And then if it's a good take made by an awful person, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle to get their awfulness recognized. And we've seen a lot of this, I think. So yeah, that's my little chart that I made today. I think it's a pretty good chart. But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong necessarily with covering the takes of bad people that have bad takes, or even reasonable takes that you want to push back against. But you got to know what you're getting into, I think. It's easier to talk about people, and honestly more fun to talk about people that don't have all that baggage, but maybe just have bad opinions, or like opinions that you don't agree with. That's my suggestion. And the big danger of bad take, awful person is that you're going to get sucked into a vortex, and you're never going to escape. On that note, We have a video to watch. Let's get a better... There we go. And let's... No more music. We're done with the music. I'm gonna read back in chat. What are you guys saying? Yeah. What video am I referring to? Yeah, on that note. On the note of people getting sucked into stupid vortexes and never escaping. Yeah, I think what happened with KP is that she really liked the feeling of being one of the first people that actually knew Lily personally to call her out. And she got to see in real time as Lily's channel was just decimated. And she's had some interpersonal issues with Sabrespark in the past. It's another ex-friend from the Brony community. And I think she wanted to be part of that movement to get him removed. Except she kind of worked backwards, right? Instead of, oh, this person did something bad, so I won't be friends with them anymore, and I will therefore talk about my experiences with them. She went from, this person isn't my friend anymore, therefore I need to find a way to show that they're a bad person. That's my general impression. Yeah, and KP has okay takes with media, but I'm not talking just talking about KP's takes. I'm more speaking as how KP sort of engaged with Lily Orchard and then tried to engage with Sabrespark in the same way. So this is very meta. We're like 3 levels up right now. So yeah, I think she was not happy with Sabrespark and was hoping to punish him in the same way that Lily Orchard got punished. And she made it really personal. And I never bought this shit with Sabrespark, and I'll tell you why. And a few of you that have been around my community and Anthony's community, and although I'm not speaking to her currently, Sai's community as well, might remember this. But the reason I knew that this was bullshit is because a few months before this whole Sabrespark thing happened, KP and Anthony had a falling out, and I saw it happen with my own 2 eyes in real time. Anthony mentioned offhand, I'm going to keep playing the music because we're not actually. Anthony mentioned offhand that, we were going to work on a video together and it just sort of fell through. And then KP took that to such offense, you'd think that Anthony personally killed her dog. And then, killed, a bunch of school children right in front of her. And the way that she talked about Anthony in that conversation, and then how her and Courtney Pete talked about him following that conversation, was exactly how they went on to talk about Sabrespark. When I know Anthony, I would say pretty well. He's one of my good friends. I've known him for about 1.5 years now. I mean, we only know each other online, but I think we know each other decently well. So hearing her talk about him in that way, I was like, well, this is obvious. This isn't, what are you guys talking about? What do you mean? And to hear that reflected in the way that they talked about Saber, I was just like, this doesn't seem right. Oh, thank you, Anthony. But anyway, I just got the impression that there was probably a falling out, and that KP was just looking to punish someone. That was the impression that I got. And after that and the Black Griffin stuff, if you are a YouTuber that sometimes covers drama, that's one thing. Like I'm not gonna pretend I'm above that. I'm reacting to some drama right now. But if you go out of your way looking for it, if you start self-identifying as a predator hunter, which is what Courtney and KP were doing, was self-identifying as predator hunters, it's gonna be everything looks like a nail when you're holding a hammer. So it becomes less about, I have some issues with Sabrespark and I don't like how he treated me as a professional and as a friend. You could have said that, KP. If you wanted to say that, if you wanted to speak your truth, and that was your feelings and experiences with Sabrespark, that could have been a call in, not a call out. You could have just, I'm sure, that could have been discussed in a more healthy manner. But two, if that's just something you wanted to share with your fans and with the community, I'm sure people would have listened to you. But you, because you started identifying as a predator hunter, you had to make him a predator. You had to make him a predator in your video. I have not seen anybody's reaction to this yet. I've heard some people talk about it, but I haven't watched the video. I don't know really what's in it. So I think it's time to get this show on the road.
This video discusses sensitive topics, including grooming, power dynamics, and online harassment. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh boy.
18 plus content warning. Do not harass anyone discussed in this video. Hi everyone, welcome to the video.
It's the serious illustration of KP because we can't see her, because her goofy little Sona wouldn't be appropriate, I suppose. Don't worry, KP. My goofy little Sona is on the stream. We have to keep goofy little Sona representation visible at all times.
For those who don't know me, I'm the YouTuber ILoveKimPossibleALot, which is a very long name, but I'm known as KP on online spaces. I mostly do Disney and cartoon and media analysis, but we aren't here for that.
Thank you for the super chat. Straight tax. Thank you, Adrian. Why am I shifted over a little bit? Oh, and another super chat. Plus, I know they aren't a true predator hunters because they didn't even talk about the schlep, someone who did get predators arrested situation once. I mean, the thing about the whole predator hunting thing is it's not actually about helping people. It's about feeling morally righteous. It's not about victims. It's about your sense of being a hero. Anyway.
Today we're here to talk about another video I did recently that didn't go over so well. The video was intended to be concerning children about problematic behaviors in online spaces, community safety, especially concerning children, and my own experiences regarding certain YouTubers and content creators named in this video. However, even the best of intentions can go awry, and it's safe to say that mine certainly did, causing unintended harm and confusion in a situation where clarity and resources are paramount. The video in question went live on my channel in May earlier this year, being removed within hours of upload since I understood the message did not come off as what I...
Let's read this. I'm sorry I'm being such a slob. I'm also eating hamburger. One sec. Okay. I've heard the concerns about the recent video and want to acknowledge that parts of it didn't land the way I intended. While it was reviewed by several people, including CSA survivors who were comfortable with the tone... Thank you for the super chat. When the PNG tuber's arms are crossed, you know it's serious. Are her arms crossed? I now understand that others experience it very differently, and that's valid. Okay, so I'm getting that she's responding specifically to how she put a bunch of jokes and memes in the video. This was my first time covering a topic of this nature. No, it wasn't. And I'm still learning how to handle serious subject matter with the right level of care. I've taken the video down and I'm considering how to approach it more thoughtfully if it's revised. The intent was never to diminish anyone's story or experience. Thank you to those who provided feedback. I appreciate the chance to make the changes necessary to give proper respect to the material discussed. So she's not apologizing for false accusations towards Sabrespark. She's apologizing for the tone of the video. Okay. So, I'm glad that she's telling us now that she's not sorry for accusing an innocent man who maybe was a little bit awkward in the bedroom when he was younger with sexual assault. I'm glad that she's being clear that she's not sorry about that from the get-go. Also, KP, I hope that all that money that you have from your family, I hope Sabrespark takes every fucking penny of it. Jesus Christ. Yeah, she wants to memory hold a video. Oh, it gets so much worse. I'm so excited.
I haven't yet spoken on the issue publicly, choosing to take time and space to be able to address legitimate concerns of the video with a clear head and level emotions. For those of you who still have no idea what I'm talking about, earlier this year I released a video about
we all know what you're talking about.
The online actions of DA Games associates Chris DeFacianatos and Will Ryan, another YouTuber named Steven, or Sabrespark, and the association between them that creates a dangerous space for minors to occupy, including
I love the little... No, seriously, guys, look at all this bad shit that I found. It was... Oh, God. Okay.
The video was my own testimony of interactions with Steven, as well as third-party testimony of additional interactions with Steven. The third-party testimony includes accusations of SA from a person named Emily, accusations I platformed on a video that in hindsight wasn't suited for testimony that heavy. Some other notable issues that were pointed out about my video was the tone. The general consensus was that the tone throughout the video was jokey and that I came across as making light of some serious accusations and conversations, as well as my social media postings leading up to the release of the video. My postings came across as bragging, clout chasing, and once again, that I was making light of a serious situation.
You literally made meme art casting yourself as Moses from the Prince of Egypt and Sabrespark as Ramses. Girl, this wasn't just an accident. This is... Okay. What this is, and it's my least favorite... Yes, Kyla, once again, we learned shutting the hell up is a valuable skill not everyone has. Yes. Yup. Okay. So, not for the first time in my YouTube career and on these streams, we are encountering a person who is not afraid, or sorry, they're not sorry that they did something. They're sorry that it got them in trouble. She's not upset about the tone of the video. She is upset that she didn't get butt pats for it. She wanted people to laugh. She wanted people to feel triumphant. The reason she's saying, I'm sorry that you guys took it the wrong way, isn't because she's sorry that what she made was offensively terrible. She's sorry that she wasn't celebrated as this hilarious meme hero that really put that Sabrespark guy in his place. That's what she's sorry about. Sorry is such an easy word to say. And don't you guys dare make fun of my pronunciation of that word. I will consider it a hate crime and you will be banned.
I'd like to firstly apologize for anyone who was hurt by my tone, both throughout the video and on my socials. My joking and memeing was contained to my own experiences as I deal with my own trauma that way. I make dark jokes and make light of my own situations, something I didn't realize was not universal and might come off as if the tone pertained to anyone's experiences that weren't my own. And I do want people to understand that it was directed at my own experiences, but
Okay. Listen. Rachel. I'm calling you Rachel because you're being a freak and calling Sabrespark Steven. Rachel. I make dark jokes too. But there's a difference between dark jokes and the weird triumphant lady boner that you were like displaying for all to see. About how much you were just really showing Sabrespark who's boss. Thank you for the super chat, Adrian. Why does she always call Sabrespark by his real name? They know each other IRL, but notice that KP didn't introduce herself as Rachel. She just continued to call herself KP. It's a power play. It's absolutely a power play to it's denying someone's chosen identity and using their quote unquote real identity as like a form of trying to get one over on them. Jokes put on public do not count as contained. Yeah. It's also might be because she's hoping that if she doesn't say Sabrespark out loud too much, that I think maybe she's hoping it won't appear when you search Sabrespark. But yes. We've also seen this from a certain other YouTuber that always uses people's real names if she knows them to try and like have it's just a power play. Anyway.
I'm sorry that it didn't translate properly. Another thing I'd like to personally address is Courtney Pete and her treatment of another CSA survivor in the live chat of the video premiere.
I'm so tired of Courtney. Sorry that I'm just going quiet, but I need you guys to know that a lot of us really tried with Courtney. But she's like a very vindictive person if you don't do exactly what she wants. Okay, I'm gonna press play. I just know it. I'm just like, you ever like this? You feel something is about to happen in a video, and you just have to prepare for the cringe. I'm preparing to cringe.
I've spoken to both Courtney and the affected individual, apologize on Courtney's behalf, and going forward, since she doesn't want to apologize herself, I'm cutting public ties with her. Well, I can't.
That's the smartest thing you've said so far, girly. I just recommend to anybody watching this video, do not associate with Courtney Pete. She's a very troubled person. I hope she gets better. But you don't have to be there for that, you know? Like, we don't have to be there to watch her get better.
Control the actions of another grown individual. I can control how and if she is associated with my work and channel. Now I'd like to take some time to go over my original intentions of the video, the conversation I wanted to start, and the messages that fell short.
Yeah, of course she's throwing KP, or of course she's throwing Courtney under the bus. She's, yeah. I mean, The fact of the matter is that this was KP's video, you know. She didn't have to put those things up there. She could have banned Courtney from her chat or like timed her out and gotten her to sit back. As somebody that has cut ties with Courtney in the past myself, about a year ago as of now, I think it's the right decision, just because you're never going to be able to make her happy in this space. But yes, she did absolutely use KP as KP absolutely did use Courtney as an attack dog. And then let her take the blame for a lot of things. And honestly, I don't think that Courtney should have been involved in this at all. Because this isn't coming from a space of like, holy shit, girl, you're going through a lot and I can't help you. So I can't be involved with you. This is coming from, you are no longer of use to me. Which I think is shitty. At the end of the day, that's what's going on. So I'm sorry for speaking too lightly. That was very rude of me. Because while I'm very much at the end of my rope with Courtney, and I'm very, in general, upset with her and the way she's treated me and some of my friends, I don't think that means it was okay for KP to use her. But anyway.
Steven, or Sabrespark, employs an editor by the name of Chris, who owns a Discord server. Chris is also employed by Will, who owns the D8 Games Discord server. There are a lot of names to keep track of, I know. Will has a passive posting pornographic, racist, and sexist and anti-Semitic content in both his and Chris's servers. His own server, the D8 Games server, having...
One second. Jesus Christ. Let me just, let me just age. Oh my god. Hold on. Let me, oh, let me age gate this freaking stream. Where the fuck do I do that again? Okay, hold on. No, it's not age restriction. Advanced. Show more. Altered comment. On a no. Let me go 18 plus, you fool. They do not make age gating your stuff easy, I gotta say. Visibility, I don't freaking know. Restrictions, none. Audience, it's not. Whatever. It wasn't for that long. We're good. It was just, holy crap. Jesus Christ. Oh, boy. Yeah, she just didn't censor any of that.
Children as young as 11 may be younger with access to these posts. Not only do children as young as 11 have access to this content, but there are also children as young as 12 given mod status. The same server also has a man accused of and arrested of child grooming. This is Will's own views on how children should...
Okay, so it's been brought to my attention that there are 3 names who have been abusing our mod. calling out that because of age, they shouldn't be allowed. Time and time again, I can't believe I have to keep mentioning this, but mods are placed not on age, but maturity. Imagine if we took a 41-year-old who acted 5 and a 12-year-old who acts 26. Well, let me tell you, this has happened and will happen periodically, not in this server, but life itself. It's not about age. It is indeed about the level of maturity.
Be interacted with online. With some 12-year-olds are more mature, that some
eccentric, it's just a common reflex. We all act like we're freaking enjoying ourselves without a gain or loss, and that this community is founded on. Learn to respect this, or you will be kicked. You have been warned, and trust me, I have recording of footage for proof if you want to try to tell me you didn't. Cut out mods some slack and don't drill them. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, here's the thing. Maybe neither of those people should be mods. Maybe a 45-year-old who acts 5 and a 12-year-old, neither of them should be mods. Maybe you should find mods that are mature and adults. I know, what a concept. KP and censoring is a crack ship of mine. It's never gonna happen.
40-year-olds.
Oh, hold on. My phone's on silent. I'm a professional. I don't even know what to say at this point. Like, this is nominally not an apology video, right? Like, this is literally just her being like, no, see, you guys, I was right. I just need to tell it to you in a slightly different order of words. If I say the right words in the right order, then everybody will agree with me. Because it's not possible that I'm wrong. I just have to say the right thing. Or I just have to say the thing I want to say in the right way, and then you'll agree with me. All right, we know what grooming
I'd like
is.
to point out that this is groomer mentality. This is the same sort of language used to make a child feel special and grown up when receiving inappropriate attention from grown people online or off. Not to
also saying, I just want to say that saying that, hey kids, I know that the space that you are in right now is not good, but the space that I have is good. So come to my space. Because my space is safe for you and you don't have... That's also a grooming tactic. It might never get sexual, but you are like using children for that sort of feeling that KP is after, while she might not be. And Courtney, I would say. I know Courtney's had some weird conversations with underage people, but I don't think that, like, I think that there are a significant number of people that, while they're not like interested in having a sexual relationship with a child, they'll still use that child to foster that sense of being the hero. And I think that's what KP and Courtney have always wanted. Anyway.
mention that Discord's own terms of service state that the users must be 13 to even be on the platform. Terms Will and Chris seem to be happy to help children break. How and why does this pertain to Steven?
That's a good
frankly, I see
question.
an issue with the content creator employing someone who directly contributes to inappropriate interactions with children online.
Okay. Payment should be inbound here, but I wanted to run a question by you. I had someone approach me here on Discord with a matter that allegedly involved you and KP and some deviant behavior. The deviant behavior is Chris making a joke that he, I don't know, either landed in a pile of panties or like jerked off with her panties. I don't even know if this actually happened, but he joked about it, which is weird and gross and like, why would you date? But that's like more about Chris than I think it says about KP. So it's not like KP was, I mean, if somebody told me that, I'd be like, don't ever talk to me again, you fucking weirdo. But I don't think I'd like chase down anyone who's ever spoken or worked with the guy. I would just avoid him. I don't know. I feel like I have a lot more on my plate than like chasing down everybody that is associated with someone that has said something icky to me, especially from that long ago. Is there any validity to these claims? Is something I need to know about with people I employ? I hope you see where I'm coming from with this question. We resolved this issue a few days ago, so everything is okay if you don't mind me asking. Not that it's my business to know details, but just making sure all is good and on the level with the people who work with me and my team. Yep, all resolved. She wouldn't want me to divulge anything if that's all right. Her privacy is important. Understood. Just doing my part to be vigilant with my own people. Glad you are all resolved, leaving it at that. And from what I've seen, this is true. She was being a bit of, she was being a bit dramatic with the parting between her and Chris, but it seems, I would say, amicable and like mildly like, okay, it is what it is. That was the impression that I got too. It didn't happen, was just a gross, inappropriate joke. Yeah, it was. And like, I've had people in my past that have made gross, inappropriate jokes. And again, just stop talking to them if it bothers you that much. But I think that it was more of a gross, inappropriate, immature joke from a really long time ago that honestly, that I just don't understand why I still bothered by it. And like, here's the thing, I don't think she's still bothered by it. I think she just wants to be seen as the victim and the hero, and she needs a bad guy. But anyway.
And by providing a space where it's normalized, welcome, and defended. I see an even bigger issue when that content creator has a history of posturing himself against child predators as being the voice that calls them out, but is fine to employ people who do this very thing he himself has condemned in the past. And it isn't as if Steven has no idea that this was going on under his nose. I myself had reached out to him directly, and through at least
sent you an email. Let me know if Steven will take this seriously at all. I already let him know it's coming down the pipe. He's talking to so-and-so about it since he's currently working on a video with Chris, but that's all I know right now. If I was seeing as how you've spoken to him in public, if it were me, I wouldn't be opening emails from KP. Like, I would be, like, throwing them directly into the trash. Just because you sent an email to somebody doesn't mean they read it.
Two different people to look into the issue and do something about it. Despite my repeated efforts to bring this issue to his attention, Steven
I was never contacted by any friend of yours, nor did you ever make any attempt to reach out to me on your own behalf via Twitter, email, or anywhere else. You are omitting so much information right now, but I'll provide some here in a sec under your original post. We could talk privately. Have screenshot. Oh, suddenly you're ready to talk privately, KP. Okay. Okay. Oh, boy.
never spoke to me or commented on the issue. Meanwhile, he was supposedly talking to someone else about the same issue with a third party. Not to mention the fact that Chris himself has admitted to and bragged about a little sex crime that Steven brushed off as a
Okay. So, we're going to talk about a word that gets thrown around a lot. We're going back over here for a while I talk about it. Because this is the vibe today. We're going to talk about a word that gets thrown around a lot. And I don't think anybody knows what it means. And that word is pedojacketing. Now, what is pedojacketing? It is not, as some people act like it is, accusing someone of pedophilia. If I'm like, hey, that guy over there, he's a pedo, he's a PDF file, I'm not pedojacketing that person, regardless of if that person is or is not a pedophile. Just accusing someone of being a pedophile is not pedojacketing. What is pedojacketing, however, is shit like this, where KP has loaded our brain with abusing children, minors, Like, children are in danger. There's kids involved. There's kids involved. And then she says he committed an actual sex crime. Now, if you didn't know about the situation, and if you were not reading this closely, pausing it, because she doesn't read this out, I am 99% certain, 99.999% certain that she's not going to actually say what the sex crime is. She's just going to flash it up on screen. If you heard this in a vacuum with no other evidence, you are going to assume that the sex crime in question is molesting a child. Okay? And it's not. It's a stupid joke that this guy made that was gross, probably made you feel really bad, and even violated. And those feelings are valid, by the way. I am sure you felt very violated hearing about this, especially hearing about this from a third party after it had been, like, thrown around a lot. But it's not a sex crime. Mm-hmm. It's yucky, but it is. But you've loaded us to think about pedophilia, and then you said sex crime, when in fact the sex crime had nothing to do with children, and that's what that's what pedojacketing is. Exactly, it's laying out those crumbs for you to make that logical leap of, oh, you're saying something. And I think what you're saying is this person is a pedophile. And that's what pedojacketing is. You might also say, it's like, ooh, wow, that person sure does love Asuka from Evangelion a lot. That's kind of weird. And then, like, why is it weird? Is it weird because she's 14? Are you saying that this person is a pedophile? As another example, it is not literally just saying this person's a pedophile. It's creating that sort of implication without coming right out and saying it. We already have a word for lying about somebody, or we already have a term for lying about if somebody is a pedophile. It's called false pedophile allegation. We already have a word for that. Pedojacketing was invented so that we could talk about a different concept. It's leaving the impression that someone's a pedo, but not directly saying it so that you can weasel your way out of it. Basically, yes. It also can work in very insidious ways where you can say everybody that likes Evangelion is a pedo, you know? All of a sudden. And then anytime someone sees a fan of Evangelion, they're like, pedophiles like that. So that must mean that anybody that likes it is a pedo, and you're pedojacketing an entire group of people, for example. But yes, so that's what's happening right now in front of us as we watch this video. By the way,
a sex joke. It should also be noted that in all of Steven's responses to the allegations, he has still not spoken on, condemned, or cut ties with Chris, Will, or Dia Games. And once again, for someone who not very long ago had plenty to say on whether Gabriel Brown was or wasn't a groomer, that child predation online is terrible, and he himself...
I think the Black Griffin stuff is weird. I don't like it. But it's hard to talk about right now because both parties are adults. You know, sometimes weird, creepy things are going to happen. And you just have to leave it alone. My question here is, what do you want Chris to do? What do you want Black Griffin to do? Black Griffin isn't going to go to jail. Okay? He technically didn't. It's weird. But he didn't do anything illegal. Chris made that mistake a long time ago, and he was never going to, like, go to jail for making a shitty joke. He has apologized to you. He has apologized in public. We know that he's sorry. it was a nasty joke that would have weirded me out to hear it, much less be the one who's a subject about it. But what do you want him to do? Do you want him to never work in the industry again? Like, is that what you want? You just want him to have no friends, and you don't want him to get any work? And like, would you have problems with other places of businesses offline for hiring him too, and be mad that other people are friends with him? Like what do you want to happen? Like, what is the end goal here? Because to me, the end goal seems that everybody kisses KP's ass forever. That seems to be the end goal to me with this whole thing.
Himself has been abused as a child, it seems odd that he has nothing to say about his own employees' child predation, even to condemn it, let alone him excusing masturbation onto a stranger's clothes, a biohazard, and sexual harassment as a joke. And now on to Emily. In regards to Emily's testimony and accusations against Steven, she has released her own video that will be linked in the comments, and I encourage people to go watch it and hear her.
It's an hour long. I don't know if I want to watch that. Not today. Maybe we'll think about it.
Her story from her own mouth. While I don't regret believing someone, I do understand that I wasn't the best equipped to be the person breaking a story like that to the public for the first time. When it came to other people's coverage of the situation, whether or not they had spoken to me in person, a lot of my intent with the video and what I chose to platform in it was assumed. Concerns to me that are still much legitimate were and continue to be brushed off as clout chasing or jealous woman scorn mentality. People who have never spoken to me or heard my side of anything spoke with absolute authority.
Sai did know you, though. Like, you were in her server. You were palling around with her. I don't know about those other people, but, like, you were friends with Sai.
On my intentions and desires, and people who did speak to me in person painted our conversations in a different light when presenting them to our own respective audiences. This led to a good number of people speaking down to me, harassing me, and sending me death threats, largely based on the assumption that I was a bitter, jealous, stupid woman targeting an innocent, successful, intelligent man for the sin of not dating me.
Ooh! She's whipping out the misogyny, guys. I don't even know what to say. Oh my god. Wait! What? Girl? You're a cunt, KP. Is that too edgy? Like, I'm sorry, but holy fucking shit. KP has accused every guy who argues with her of crushing on her. Well, Rachel, I'm telling you right now, you're not my type. So don't even fucking go there. I am. Yeah. Oh shit, Gabe. Shush. Oh my god. Yeah, you are a black hole, woman. I gotta say. And I'm saying this as somebody that used to watch KP because, I was in the Brony community. Well, I wouldn't say I was in the Brony community. It was more that I've liked My Little Pony since I was a kid because I was a horse kid. And I was an animation student. So when those two interests aligned, I got really excited to the point that my teachers were teasing me for being so excited about the stupid horse show. And then it ended up being like a huge phenomenon and changed the Flash cartoon scene for basically ever. Thank you for the super chat, Shark Jumping Walrus. Yeah, so I watched KP because I thought all of the boys in the space were kind of cringe. I think I watched a little bit of Saber too when he was just doing the pony stuff. I didn't really like anybody else. I tried watching Lily a few times back in the day, but I didn't like her either. Yeah. So I'm saying this as somebody that used to watch KP, that like you're a black hole. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Some kids were not bullied enough in grade school. I'll just say that.
To which I'd like to respond by saying, Steven, I'm just not that into you. The same brush was used to paint over Emily's accusations and intentions, with even less people speaking to Emily herself. More can be learned about her experiences in the video linked below. Steven, however, was given grace, room to respond.
So she's not commenting at all about the allegations against Sabrespark. She's like, I'm washing my hands of that. If you want to know more about that, go listen to Emu Emmy. So, which is, and the thing is that like, this is a huge part of the controversy, is you falsely accusing Sabrespark. That's the issue. This is why everybody's upset. Everything else is just like second fiddle to your accusations against Sabrespark. Like, I don't really give a shit. I mean, like, I'm sure, you know, like, I have never spoken to DA Games or Chris, but like, I'm sorry to be a dick, but like, I don't really care about that. I care more about the fact that you like tried to ruin this guy's career out of spite. And I know that you tried to ruin it out of spite because you tried to do the exact same thing to Anthony right in front of me months beforehand. She does. Oh, she does get into it. Oh, I'm so excited.
And direct personal support from the same people claiming to be an objective voice of reason throughout the situation. When given
sometimes the whole objective voice of reason thing, the objective voice of reason doesn't agree with me, therefore they're not objective voice of reason. Maybe you're just wrong. That happens sometimes. Sometimes people are wrong.
Given his own testimony on the accusations leveled against him, his own lapses in memory are not painted as proof of malicious lie. His own incorrect recollection of events, as proved by the screenshots he himself provided, are not painted as proof of a malicious lie.
I mean, you say you pulled away from her for the next 2 months, but I mean, because I've seen your DMs with her. Yep. So if you pulled away from her, I mean, it wouldn't be for months, Saber.
Not months. I would say. I mean, I'd say November. No, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm getting my the increments wrong. But I would say for the rest of November.
His own admission of trying to force a woman to take a pregnancy test against her will is not seen as a violation of consent, privacy, and bodily autonomy.
What? What? KP. What? What? Oh. KP, do you perhaps not know how a pregnancy test works? You know, like, oh. Yeah. Yeah. Is it sexual assault to ask someone to piss on a stick so that you can verify if they're pregnant with your fucking unborn child? Oh my god. Uh. Yep. Asking a woman to take a pregnancy test is completely valid if she's telling you that she thinks she's pregnant. Yup. Like, what do you think? He was just sticking it up her gooch and being like, oh, let's see if there's a baby in there. Like, that's not how that works. You just pee on a stick and it tells you if you're pregnant or not. That's not. Oh my god. Sounds like the maternity of women who don't like paternity tests. He bought the test for her and is like, can you take a pregnancy test? Oh my god. Okay. We're almost in October, and October is International Hating White People Month, and I'm starting it off strong with wanting to throw KP into an active volcano.
But instead, as a horrible event, he was made a victim of by the girl he had targeted.
Into the convention on a Sunday, I remember going over to her hotel, being like, I'm like, we have to get this test. Like, I need to know the answer before I head home, so I can know what's going on.
It's reasonable.
I got the pregnancy test, came back, and I'm like, please, can you take this? And she goes, okay, you know, because it was time's up, and she said, okay, I'll do it. And she took it, and it was negative. And I remember afterwards, I was like almost dumbstruck with relief. At that point, I started forming this opinion in my head where I'm like, did she just baby scare me to keep me in her life? That was the emotion surging through my head, along with relief.
Admissions of being where he was accused of being and when are not painted as plausibility that what he is accused of is true. Instead, is painted as proof that he's telling the truth and the accused victim is lying for clout. For objective coverage of what was supposed to be a serious situation, there seems to be a lot of sweeping for Steven. Standards that myself and Emily were and continue to be held to are not standards that he needs to meet. So
yes, but you see that, like, you lied. So you are going to be held to a different standard because you provably lied. And you've been making an ass out of yourself for months. So you are going to be held to a different standard because you are a fucking... You are the one that came out of nowhere and tried to ruin this man's career, acting like a spiteful, vindictive witch on social media. So, like, yes, you are being held to a different standard. And Emmy is being held to a different standard because she has a history doing this shit. Oh my god. Okay. Saber was held to a higher standard than her. I think that it's more that, like, people aren't being nice to KP, and so she's sad now.
Moving forward, how can we, as the online community, do better? What changes can we make to improve child safety or our fandom spaces?
Okay, let's go back. Okay. Let's go back.
Continue to be held to are not standards that he needs to meet. So moving forward, how can we, as the online community, do better? What changes can we make to improve child safety or our fandom spaces? What kind of conversations should we be having? How about power dynamics and fandom spaces and the people that abuse them? Creators turning their fan bases into dating pools? Grooming behaviors passed off as normal internet interactions? These were the kinds of conversations I was intending to spark with my last video. This was my...
Oh. Thank you for the super chat. It's Wes. I love Impossible a lot. More like I love false accusations a lot. Waka waka waka. Yeah. KP, your video was about Sabrespark is a big racist and rapist, and he just utterly crushed this tiny little girl child that I'm not going to tell you who she is, but you need to trust me that this tiny little woman who's basically a child, she was a 20-year-old child, Sabrespark just like fucking destroyed her and like killed her with sex, and you guys are all like fine with that, and you're fine with him being in the industry. I think we should all just throw him into a well collectively, and if you don't do that, you're evil. Like, that's what your video was. And it was not a conversation starter, it was a witch hunt. Oh my god. Okay.
My intent. And with the end of the video, I'd like to close off with a note about accountability. Throughout the whole ordeal, I have seen a lot of people attributing my lack of response to mean a lack of accountability. That I was avoiding.
Your lack of response is because Sabrespark is going to sue your ass.
The controversy, and that I was trying to erase or ignore it. Something I invite the audience to think about.
Girl, didn't you delete the last 3 years of tweets on your Twitter? Like this week? Interesting.
Is what accountability is, what it looks like, and what it isn't. Someone jumping to respond as soon as possible or through as many avenues as possible is not indicative of taking accountability, especially if that response is to victimize/murder yourself in the face of accusations and criticism.
You're still not taking accountability, and it's what? Like, this happened in May, and it's like almost October. So let's see, May, June, July, August, September, it's like 5 months later. 6 months almost. You're finally taking accountability, quote unquote. And it's not even accountability. You're just like, guys, I was right and you're bullying me. You guys are bullying me even though I was right with everything I did and said. Maybe I shouldn't have made the joke about the Prince of Egypt, but I was correct. I was correct, you guys. I was so correct. You guys are the assholes. That's what this is.
True accountability is stating whether or not you did something on its face, regardless of any intentions or effect, and without excusing yourself or attacking the accuser. Example, I made the original video. It was bad, and I understand that. Jumping to dismiss someone as cloud chasing and trying to justify why
yeah, I did. I feel like I could keep making fun of her, and she would still just say the exact same thing that I'm making a joke about, because I'm like exaggerating. and I press play again, and that's exactly what she says. Oh my. How old is this girl again? Oh yes. We're cloud chasing after KP's cloud. Girl, what cloud? What cloud? Look at this fucking dislike ratio. Oh, you can't see it behind my stupid fat head. What clout? Dude. That's like I get those amount of views when I'm not playing a stupid dumb video game that nobody wants to see. Like, that's what clout? What clout? Ugh.
what happened isn't the word they're using is not accountability. It's obfuscation and defense. And you didn't need to defend something that didn't happen. Anyway, this was heavy. I'd like to thank everyone who stuck it out this far, as well Special thanks to my fans who allowed me the space to respond before forming an opinion about my intent.
What fans?
In the meantime, I've tried to be positive, and I'm working on something that is not YouTube adjacent, and maybe I can share it with you someday. Maybe not. We'll see. Anyway, this is my dog Toby. He's a little man and he likes to wear outfits. Decompress with him, and thanks for sticking around.
Wow. Wow. I don't even know what to say. Oh my gosh. Okay. So my good friend, Anthony Gabagool. Oh, where is it? Here we go. And he, of course, like a fucking rube, didn't scrub his link. You fool. So I have to do it myself. Like a freaking peasant. Scrub your links, people. Whenever you see a link, will be like on YouTube now, you'll get like this question mark and then SI equals and then a string of numbers. Delete everything from the question mark afterwards, because if you don't, you're just basically giving people like your tracking information. So just, yeah. Okay. So we're going to be taking, this is the op block. Apparently there's some really pertinent information at the 2 hours and 5 minutes mark. So we're going to like take a little peeksy poo with that. Okay, here we go.
Anyway, this was heavy. I'd like to thank everyone who stuck it out this far.
Please leave any additional concerns in the comments and I will address them.
Okay.
Let's check something, chat. She has not responded to my comment about the fact that I said this. While I will not speak onto the DA game situation, let's see what she's not responded to yet. Chat. Namely, I find that first off, that you have bias coverage that you, namely, I find it off that you call bias coverage when you spoke to the individuals making, quote, said bias coverage. And you withheld information that, in my opinion, was done so to make you look like a victim of circumstance and not a willing participant. You did make baseless accusations towards Sabrespark starting a, quote, polyamorous parasocial relationship with fans with no proof of that ever being shown. I implore you to back it up. Furthermore, you seemingly skip over the time you pressured Emily to talk to save your own career because of the backlash you were receiving. Lastly, it doesn't feel like you're sorry for anything, but rather that it went poorly.
Yep, that was my assessment too.
You have been waffling over this response behind the scenes, and this just ain't it. If you want to speak more, feel free to reach out. And yes, I do know that she was making this response.
Wait, hold on.
Much no.
Hold on. Where are we? Oh, here it is. It's still here. Boop. Oh, look. Wait, hold on. Did I see? No, I didn't. I thought I saw a Wild Anthony, but I did not. Okay. I was wondering if she had hidden it, but it is still there.
Chat. Let's listen to a little bit more, and then I have some exclusive content.
Ooh, exclusive.
As well as special thanks to my fans who.
Okay.
Why did you bring up?
I'm never gonna get mad at someone.
Hold on.
It's Toby, I guess. Why are
Toby's
you bringing
the only good thing about this video.
Why is the dog on the bus? Let him be. Let him live. Why did you bring up?
I'm never gonna get mad at someone's pet because the pet doesn't know.
No, the pet
Okay,
doesn't
let's
know.
hear the.
Look at his eyes. I love his eyes. I love his eyes.
This video was dumb and bad, and
All right, I want to see
think you should have just been like, "I'm gonna take my L."
Anthony's got deleted.
Like, hey, I was told different things, and that's clearly not what happened. I should have.
I'm sorry,
again,
Anthony.
There's just other ways you could have done this.
Should I comment on the video?
Who's just like not super hooked onto the story, but this pissed me off so bad.
So, Okay.
The JPEG looks so bad. It does. It really does.
You know what? I gotta chat.
Lazy, ain't that the fucking truth?
Okay.
Ain't that the fucking truth?
How do
Seeing that
I-
from other bad apologies, you should never involve your pets.
I need to. You know what I didn't do? I didn't edit these, and I probably should have. Blue Yokai. Blue Yokai, I need you. Okay.
Okay, come on. I want to see this exclusive content.
MS Paint.
I'm reading out.
You move.
Give me the exclusive
what?
content.
Exclusive content coming very soon.
Very soon.
Timeline-wise, this was before we found out who Emily was. The interview was edited and removed pauses and silence as revealing the information that's been asked to be made public. Also, I just want to point this out. This was before we found out who Emu Emmy was, and after the first interview, the call with enters questions. KP knew it was Emily the entire time. And
What?
she withheld that information in private.
Oh.
I'm glad that we're having this conversation because there's just, it's more so just to relieve any possibility, right? Because you know how past things in the internet have been in regards to stuff like this, right?
Right.
So, and also I just have a concern in
All right, chat, before we go on, enjoy Unproblematic People's Dogs from Blue Yokai.
Aw, baby.
Look at
Okay,
the babies.
I want to see the
Look at the babies.
gimme,
Look at them.
give me the
Enjoy the
content.
babies.
I want to see the content. Give it to me.
verification and to get at with that.
Yeah, well,
love
it was at the time. It was because it's lazy.
Is that like a yesified? Is that a yesified? The guy
Pinhead.
from the.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
that's
Pinhead.
awesome. I love it.
I'm guessing that this video isn't
Like
the
how
I
content.
don't know. I don't watch movies.
Production
I
side
just
of it, but I never
remember
asked
him
for your feelings. So
I don't care about this. Sorry, lazy bedhead, but I've seen this already. I
That's what
think.
she believes.
like
I know. Yeah. We're not very. close,
KP
so I
thinks
don't know.
I said, but we'll get there.
a lot, and I'm like, where have I keep seeing this guy's face before?
Production of the Bronies React stuff, and
What concern in the video? You guys were friends, and you fucked up the friendship.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Hold on. Here it is, guys. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
Information. If you would like,
Oh, hold on.
that you
Let's go up to the beginning of
reach out.
this.
listen.
Oh my god. I wish this was timestamped. Anthony, this is not a timestamp.
I have gotten permission from Sabrespark to share
You were like
these.
10 minutes
asked.
off. I'm killing you.
So this is a person who is allegedly on KP's team.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I'm gonna read this for you, chat, because it seems like some people were doing some damage control behind the scenes.
Oh boy.
May 12th.
Yummy slop.
Dear Saber, I realize that this may come off as disingenuous, but I really hope this email finds you well. My name is blank. We have cut out that person's name specifically because like they're not a part of this, yada yada. And I'm one of Rachel's / KP's friends, mods, and I contributed to some parts of the aforementioned video about you and DA Games. Recently, we were made aware that the allegations against you in that video are false. And that person who pretended to be a victim of yours has tried to do this with multiple other
Okay.
YouTubers before. We all feel terrible about this and wanted to reach out to you right away to discuss where.
Did this happen after or before? So it's May 12th. When did the video come out? Was this like right after or right before? When did the video initially come out? Hold on, wait, what? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, multiple other YouTube videos. When did the video come out? The week earlier. Okay. So it was okay. I was like, did this come out? Okay. So it okay. Never mind. I was like about to go down like a whole other spiral. Okay, let's keep
We
watching.
go from here.
Fucking okay.
Oh, buddy.
Okay.
But still,
Oh, boy. Would you be interested in scheduling a call with me to discuss this properly? Rachel will not be in the call because she genuinely does not have the capacity to deal with this right now.
Go fuck yourself.
Again, this is allegedly someone on her team.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, sure it is. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Allegedly.
And she generally does not have the capacity to do this, and she's still processing the new information. If you would like to confirm, if you'd like her to confirm to you that I am who I say I am, I'm sure she'd be happy to confirm, but leave the conversation about what repair and accountability looks like to me. I would be happy to schedule a meeting over Zoom or Microsoft Teams, but I can call over Discord as well. Please let me know what works for you. I suggest Zoom because Zoom automatically notifies the user if the call is being recorded, so both of us can have peace of mind that no one is being secretly recorded. I apologize for, I will apologize properly in the call, but I can't emphasize enough how sorry we are. We want to make this right, whatever that looks like to you. Thank you for the time. Thank you for taking the time of your day to read this email, and I hope to hear from you soon. Best, that person. Now, there's a follow-up email.
Oh no,
sent
there's
on,
more.
I believe the 17th of May, saying, "Good afternoon, Saber. I hope your weekend is off to a good start. I just want to let you know that KP and I have begun the process of making up a follow-up video. We both value your input, so if you could find the time to schedule a call with me, it would be much appreciated. Please let me know if you have any questions or concerns." So yes, chat.
17th. Okay.
Wait, what's that? What's that? KP wanted Saber to approve her follow-up video so it would make her look better? Oh, is
God.
that what this former person that knows her is alleging?
Oh.
Huh. Crazy, chat. Does that mean that all this fake bravado is for nothing? Does that mean that, oh, Saber abused his authority? He is way too much into me. Oh, you don't understand. Saber's not a nice guy, and I don't care that he may or may not be a victim of childhood SA. He defends Black Griffin.
Oh my God. Okay.
You know,
I-
chat. Sometimes.
I'm kind of blown away right now, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I hadn't showed you these before.
Did you?
I
know.
I don't know what to say. Yeah. And okay. And to I'm sorry, I need a second. And okay, we're going back to the music for a little bit. And to then go on to double and triple down. Because because KP was not silent during this time. So from one corner of her mouth, she was like, "Saber, are we cool? Are we cool, Saber? Saber, I need to know that you are cool." From one side of her mouth, and the other was like, "No, he really is like a rapist, guys. He really, really is." Over and over and over again, because that's a story she's stuck with publicly. From one side of her mouth, and out the other side is... Oh my God! Oh! That is bold! Yeah, I can see her. She is such an asshole. Yeah. I think... Okay. I think that what can happen... Okay. Alright, let's break this down. As someone who also had a bit of a YouTube kerfuffle this year, and who felt very unsure, let's give KP, let's try to put ourselves in KP's shoes. I think that she wanted this to be true. Because she didn't like this guy, so she wants it to be true. Because, oh, well, that's just perfect. Of course he's like this. And at the same time, she has that little doubt in the back of her head. But, like, what if it isn't? I think that, like... there is a very, very, very small percentage of shitty people that are, like, knowingly and intentionally malicious. You know, I don't think... I'm gonna say something that sounds, like, more serious than it is, but evil is very banal, you know? It's not like this little guy sitting in his dark little cave going like, ooh, I'm gonna fuck up Sabrespark's life forever. And he didn't do anything. Like, that didn't happen. What happened is that, allegedly, Emi had a sexual interaction with Sabrespark. And because she is not a very healthy person, she had some hang-ups about it. And over the years, those hang-ups turned from, I don't like sex, to, and I didn't like having sex with this guy, to, this guy raped me. And like, look, I get it. I'm Ace, and I've had sex that I didn't enjoy, but it doesn't make the people that I did it with rapists. It means that I'm bad at communicating my boundaries, and I was doing things I thought I should do, instead of doing things that I actually wanted to do. So, like, I've been there, and I know that those interactions sit with you for a very long time. I also have experienced SA before. And those are two very different experiences. And I think that this oh, thank you for the super chat. Wow, KP just flabbergasted a demon. Now that is an accomplishment on her part. But yes. So I think this is the story that over the years Emi told herself, because she has so many hang-ups about sex, that it's like, I don't want to be responsible for this bad interaction that I've had. So in my head, that's what it is now. And it even seems that KP was fanning the flames to make it seem worse than it really was, because she was coaching that script that Emi wrote about this to make it seem worse than it was. And what I think happened on KP's part is, and we know this just from how she talks about what happened between her and Chris, that she takes something that, while shitty and while kind of weird, it isn't SA, into being like this thing that is so much bigger than what it actually was. And you know, it was creepy, and you know, there was some rape culture and misogyny elements to it, and it's complicated. But what happens is that, like, these situations get colored into a darker and darker shade of gray when they're usually morally ambiguous or, like, clumsy, but ultimately, like, not as bad as these people are saying they were. And then if you take the worst feelings that you felt about this at your worst moment, and then you amplify that on a YouTube video, and you make it seem even worse, then it doesn't even resemble the original event that happened. And I think that, like, what was happening in KP's mind at this point was that she was oscillating between that very dark gray that she had kind of morphed the situation into, to the lighter gray of, like, okay, but maybe we can move past this, and maybe it doesn't have to be a big deal, so I will talk to Sabrespark about this, and, like, we can all reach a level of understanding. And what really happened, like, it was somewhere in the middle, or more accurately, was probably closer to say, but you know what I mean? Like, she was, like, swinging back and forth and orbiting her actual opinion as it suited her, while she was freaking the fuck out because she was being threatened with a lawsuit. Ultimately, it sounds like what happened between Emmy, and Sabrespark was, like, a very private moment that was kind of awkward and probably not the best sexual experience either of them had, because it sounds like Sabrespark had some discomfort with the situation himself, especially with the baby trapping crap. And this moment that these two shared as young people that were still, you know, learning the ins and outs of intimate relationships. You know, most of us have the privilege of that never going public, you know? I'm so glad that my first experiences with intimacy are things that nobody's ever going to know. Thank God. But unfortunately, and you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, like, Sabrespark's been, you know, pounding it for years before this happened. But it sounded like, from the way both Emmy and Saber have spoken about it, that it was like, neither of them had a lot of experience up until that point. And they were trying their best, and it just was kind of awkward. And I wish that could have remained a private moment, instead of it being paraded around the internet for all to see. And then ultimately for someone like ILoveKimPossibleALot, Rachel, to try and destroy his career. Because he wouldn't be her obedient little pet or whatever. You know? Yeah, nobody needs to know about the sex lives of micro celebrities or celebrities in general. It's like nobody's business. Yeah, sounds like Sabrespark had his own worries too. That people would walk in on them, that he was, like, too nervous to perform. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Sabrespark reminds me a lot of my ex. My good ex. And I think about, and you know, like, he also had some issues with communication and nervousness and I think of how I would feel if he ever was dragged through the mud the way that Sabrespark is being dragged through the mud now. And it really hurts my feelings, actually. Thank you for the super chat, Yokai Lover. Just got back from dinner. What'd I miss? Oh, we're just talking now. We're just chatting. Not sure how long you've been gone, but like, you know, my ex is a bigger guy. Bigger than I am. A little bit older. And because of the way I look, he's been mistaken as my parent before, which is really embarrassing, even though he's only like a year and a half older than I am, and we started dating when I was, I think, 25 or 26, and he was 27. So we were both adults, but I think of like, I don't know. Like, this tends to be how I process this, is I like project it onto the closest experience that I've had, or the closest people I've had to this situation. But like, yeah, no, my ex is very similar to Sabrespark in looks and personality, and like awkward, but in like a charming way. And I think about like what it would be like to hear somebody come forward and accuse him of those things, because I'm still friends with this guy. And I think of how hurt he would be and how upset I would be as his friend. And it just, I could not imagine doing that to another person. You know? Like, honestly, how dare you? Man. We're gonna go back to this again. Ultimately, we need to stop with this idea that we're gonna find the next big bad guy to take down and remove from the internet, to the sounds of trumpets signaling our victory. It's not a healthy way to go about it, and eventually this is gonna happen. You are going to crash and burn, and you are going to hurt an innocent man or woman or whatever's life. Even if we all realize that, oh, Sabrespark did nothing wrong, this legacy and that little smidge of doubt in everybody's mind is going to be there forever. And that's not fair. Not only that, but you've made it so much harder for actual victims to come forward. And real predators are going to take advantage of that. Yeah, there's some people that just keep coming back over and over and over and over again. And the thing is that Sabrespark was chosen, didn't work this time, because he's so beloved, because he has that charisma. Sabrespark was chosen, and the language used, he was bigger than me. He had he weighed so much more than me, and he, making, that part made me so mad. Is that that using everybody's I'm gonna send myself into a rage, but it felt so calculated, you know, using everything that they could to make Sabrespark look like this ravenous dog, and Emmy as this poor, pathetic little frail victim. And hearing some of that, I was just, oh god, the rage I felt. Cannot communicate it. Yeah, there was body shaming going on there. What connection did you make, Spaghetti? I'm curious. Remember that time that Lily called me a pedophile just because she didn't like you? I do remember that. I do remember that. That was insane. And she admitted to it too. Like, if you're going, like, I have, yeah, birds of a feather. Yeah, well, they did used to be friends. And the thing is, and this has happened to me a couple times in the past few months by people that don't like me, where they really want people to know that they're punishing me because they don't like me. And that's the reason they're making those accusations. That they will just brag about it because I mostly ignore them. And Lily did the same thing when she accused me. Is that she's like, oh, I know he's not. I just think that we should spread that information. And it's like, that doesn't, if you brag about it, it's not, doesn't work. It doesn't work. But they're so addicted to the feeling, and they want, and they are so eager to brag about it that they'll just admit it out loud. So yeah, it does not surprise me that these two were friends for a very long time. No, she didn't need to because you're a man, so she could accuse you of misogyny and transphobia. But she couldn't really do that with me since I'm trans. So she just went, you know, she just came right out with the, yeah. Anyhow. Yeah, Chris's joke is fucked up, but KP acting like it's something that actually happened is so deranged. Yeah, yeah. I think the reason that people like Lily and like some other recent people that have started coming after me are using that one is because they don't have anything else on me. Like, they don't have anything else. I'm not perfect, but I've never done anything that would warrant getting harassed online, so they have to go for the worst. Anyway, oh, hello, Hatto. I haven't seen you around in a while. Heart, by the way, I know that, like, I think that you've been having, like, I've just heard on the grapevine that you're kind of disconnected from, like, a lot of people that, from the community. Perhaps, maybe I got my information wrong. If you want to hit me up on, like, Tumblr or something, I'm sure you have your own spaces, but like if you want to talk or anything, and it doesn't have to be like for a public or a video. I've just been trying to reach out to people that it seems to me have been unfairly chased out of certain communities recently. If I'm got the wrong impression on that, like, ignore me. But if you want to reach out to me on Tumblr or something, or that's the one I use the most, but I also have Blue Sky. My Discord's pretty chill. I wouldn't mind inviting you to that. Anyway, I think that's it. I was a little bit considering, okay, I'll be honest with you, I was kind of considering taking a look at, the the Star Trek Voyager video that Lily Orchard did, but I haven't watched Voyager in a long time, and apparently it's been copyright claimed, so never mind. So I think that we're gonna tie it up for now. I'll make the images that I was using, like this one and the chart, available on my Tumblr, which is linked in the description down below. Yeah, the Voyager vid. I don't like watching her videos, is the thing. But I do like Star Trek. I just haven't watched Voyager in a few years, so I think I'd probably want to, yeah. I might not, though. I don't think it's worth the effort. But anyway, I think that'll be everything tonight, so shorter stream. Thank you so much to my patrons, Harvey Hummus, Mohammed Page, Boggle, Fiona, Billy, and Zephyr, Somnium Astra, Space Frog, Easy Walker, Garden, Knot, Shy Ravid, Swampling Lover, and Fex Fidel, and a special thanks to myself, Mothers, Squeakers, Boggle, and Sparrow. If you would like to support me for free, you can do that by liking the video, commenting, and making sure you're subscribed. Or if you would like to support me on Patreon for as little as $1 a month, you can get access to some perks, like joining my Discord server and getting your names in the credits. Or you can send a one-time donation over Ko-Fi. That is linked in the description down below, as are my social media. I will see you guys all next time. Working on an edited video that will be out soon. I promise. It's not the Zelda one. It's one that I think is very interesting in the conversations that we've been having in this space. I will see you guys all next time. Bye-bye.
A name which is literally